Hello and welcome to the Gossip Stone. My name's Andy Scott and I'm a raging alcoholic. Today we'll be discussing the future of Zelda on the 3DS. Now, a Portuguese website called My Games has sat down with Eiji Aonuma and he has confirmed that there is a Zelda title being worked on for the 3DS. When Shigeru Miyamoto was asked about it, he stated that he does not want to keep making more and more and more and more remakes, but rather he wants to go back to the NES and SNES titles, and he wants to take the depth from those games and he wants to recreate it in 3D. So, I'm sorry, Operation Moonfall. Maybe next year. Now, when Miyamoto got into specifics, he stated that A Link to the Past was his reference, and that he wants to make a game kind of like A Link to the Past. However, people are taking this remark as he wants to make a remake of A Link to the Past, but when you look at the quotes, really, you can kinda tell that he's not really aiming at making a remake more than he's making a new game in the style of. Now, there are a lot of old-time fans who are going completely mental over the idea that they're remaking A Link to the Past. Yo, Link to the Past, man, I remember when that game came out. God, I love that game. I'd love to play that again, dude. Hey, that's great, man, but they're probably not remaking A Link to the Past. What? Eiji Aonuma backed up Miyamoto's statement, saying that he is thinking of doing something like A Link to the Past for the 3DS. Now, I, for one, think it's a great idea to go back to the basics, even though it's a really hard thing to do. Honestly, you can never really trust Nintendo because they say that they're going to do one thing and then they just can do a complete 180. Look at A Link to the Past. Originally, Miyamoto wanted to have a warrior and a fairy and a magic user as playable characters, kind of like the Gauntlet series. However, that didn't work out and we ended up getting one of the greatest games of all time. Same type of deal with Ocarina of Time and their whole Zelda 64, you know, we want to, like, if you slash a bottle and break it, it's going to stay broken for the rest of the game. So none of that happened, but we still got these excellent games. So you can count on having a great game for the 3DS, no matter what the idea is. So my advice for fans is to not get your hopes up for A Link to the Past remake. Rather get your hopes up for a spectacular Zelda game, because Zelda games turn out great anyway.
False! The Wind Waker was not a great game, because Link looked like a cartoon. It disgraced the entire Zelda series, and it was a terrible, awful game, and it sucked. It sucked!
Let's just hope to God we don't get people like that again, saying that the 3DS game is going to suck because it's not like A Link to the Past. It may be like A Link to the Past, it may not be. Either way, the game is probably going to be good. But you know, the majority of hardcore fans, they're not really satisfied with anything they get. What I would love to see with a future 3DS game is that they take the art style and the graphic style and all that stuff from the Ocarina of Time 3D remake, and they make a new game in the style of that. To me, that would be awesome. Will it happen? Maybe, maybe not. If it doesn't happen, I'm not going to refuse to play the games like some people. What would you like in a Zelda 3DS title? What would be your ideal game? And if it didn't happen, would you be angry or would you be satisfied? Actually, don't answer that. I don't want to know. Just leave in the comments what you would like to see in a future 3DS title. Hey, thanks for watching The Gossip Stone. I'm Andy Scott, and to all the haters, I'll see you next week. Oh, yes. Now, when Mia